Air fryers. If you've been on food TikTok or food talk for any longer than at least a day maybe, then you've probably already seen these appliances everywhere because the app is obsessed with them and apparently they can do almost anything. Now, I don't get surprised anymore when I see an air fryer recipe that does like fries or fries an entire chicken inside it because, I mean, an air fryer is called an air fryer for a reason. But what really got me fascinated was when I started seeing people make entire baked goods in them. Because apparently, these air fryers are also just little ovens on steroids. Now, I wanted to see what the hype was all about and why the app was so obsessed with them, so this video came about. Hey everyone, it's Sevy, and in this video, I'm going to be testing air fryer baked goods viral TikTok recipes, and I'm going to be rating them just to see how good they are and what the hype about air fryers is all about, and maybe if I'm going to end up obsessed with them too. Let's begin. So the first thing that we're gonna try to make is a burnt Basque cheesecake, a recipe care of Abby Marquez. I've never made like a cheesecake or a cake before ever actually. So if I can succeed in making one in the air fryer, I think that's gonna be pretty crazy. Oh my God, I don't know how to open this. What the? I've never seen this kind of packaging before. Oh. So we're starting with 2 blocks of room temperature cream cheese. Get out, get in the mixing bowl. Okay. Maybe most of this video I just struggle with dealing with American packaging. I don't think I've ever used this much cream cheese in one go. She uses an electric hand mixer blender to like soften the cream cheese and everything, but I don't have that. I don't know if I can do this with just a hand spatula. Please don't make a mess. There we go. Okay, that's about 1 cup. This is arm day. This is this is my workout for the day. We've made some progress, and by some, I mean enough, and I'm ready to be done with this. My arm is dying. Oh my God. 1, 2, 3. And then we mix again. I don't think this is how I'm supposed to be holding the spatula, but for now, this is what my arm demands. The video uses all-purpose cream. That's a normal thing to find in the Philippines, but here, heavy cream can be a good substitute, apparently. 1 cup of that. That's a lot of cream. We're getting more and more liquid as we go along. Oh my gosh, I can't imagine this turning into a whole ass cheesecake. So if this works, I'll be pretty impressed. 3 teaspoons of vanilla. 1, 2, 3. Like these lumps, I want to get rid of that. So maybe if I mash them up like potatoes. Let's just move on to the all-purpose flour. I'm getting flour on my hands. Here's the consistency of the mixture. I'm gonna be honest, it looks really like runny. I have this baking dish. She said, don't worry about creases. Maybe if I just start pouring it in. I know the spatula is still in there. It's there to hold stuff down. Here's what this looks like. It's still, again, quite runny, which is really interesting. Maybe we'll just have to stick it in for longer than the recipe prescribes if I still find it a bit runny, but hopefully not. Really carefully, just in it goes. 180, how many is that in freedom units? It's around 350. So time, we'll put it at 20 and we'll start it. Oh my God, look at that jiggle. My Osmo Pocket didn't record, but here's how it looks right now. It's jiggly. I mean, the top has like the nice burnt Basque look, but it's jiggly. I don't think it's supposed to, and I don't think it's supposed to like crack on top. So I'm gonna put it in for 5 more minutes. It's so amusing jiggling it though. Okay, anyway, extra 5 minutes are done. Ooh, okay. I checked Abby Marquez's video. It's supposed to be like jiggly as it comes out, and then you let it cool. Ooh, balls, oof, ow. There she is, now we let it cool. It's so squishy. I have let this thing cool for about an hour. It stopped jiggling so much. Pull it out of the dish, transfer it to a plate. The top is still intact and now I get to like pull down. Oh my God, oh no. What basically happened is that it started spilling, the inside started spilling out. Like the top looks great, okay, but the inside started spilling out as soon as I pulled the parchment paper. So, oh my God, that is not a good sign. I'm putting this thing back in. That's where it broke off earlier, and then that's where like cream cheese oozed out. And now it's like baked down into a crust type thing, as cheese does. I'm going to set this aside so that I can start on the next one. Okay, so the next thing we're going to attempt while that thing cools is cookie dough. Well, I'm assuming it's edible cookie dough. I'm gonna be real, I haven't really like made actual cookie dough. I've made cookies. It starts out like how you would normally start out cookie dough. Start with the butter. Throw that in. Okay. Oh my God, that is so much sugar. So usually when I like bake things like cookies or brownies, I usually like adjust the amount of sugar just for personal preference, but because I am testing recipes, I try to do these like as unedited as possible. Well, this is definitely easier to mix than the 2 blocks of cream cheese, I'll tell you that. I think this is mixed pretty well. I don't know why that cheesecake was so huge. Surely nothing can go wrong with this recipe. What the f is that? It just fell out of my flour. Okay, I don't know if like flour bags usually come with little plastic like... Anyway, we have 1 cup of flour. And this is where I have to be very careful unless I want to like spray flour all over my face. The consistency of my mixture and the consistency of the mixture in the TikTok, for some reason this looks a lot creamier. I'm pretty sure I got all the quantities right. So I'm just gonna add in a whole bunch. I'm not even gonna count. Who counts chocolate chips anyway? Okay, I'm looking at the consistency of this and there's like a high chance this literally just comes out like a cookie. Yeah. And here's some more chocolate chip. 160 degrees for about 15 minutes. It might take a bit longer than that because I didn't preheat the thing, but we'll find out. So while that's going, we're going to turn our attention back to the burnt Basque cheesecake. And we're gonna see if it still tries to break. Okay, so far so good. Okay, this side looks okay. If that crack hadn't happened, it would have been golden. It would have been fine. I'm gonna slice into the firm side to give it its best chance. It's not happening. It's not happening. It's just going to, nope. The outside was really well set. The inside is just not. To finish it up, I'm just going to stick it into like a normal oven because I do want this thing to be edible, honestly. Okay, this thing just finished. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. It actually rose. Hold up. It might be like our first success. First out of 2. It actually looks like a cookie dough thing. I mean, I will let it cool, but I'll do the fork test. Usually you're supposed to do this with a toothpick. Wait, best case scenario, the toothpick comes out clean. I mean, except for the chocolate from the chocolate chip that it passed through, it actually came out clean. I'm gonna let this cool and then we can see how successful we actually were. Oh my gosh. Okay, we got a nice crust on top. So it's kind of firm and cakey inside. So looking in around here, it's still a little bit wet, which means it probably needs to set, but it's cookie dough, so it's probably not going to set completely. But anyway, I'm going to try this first bite. I've waited too long already. It's like cookie with a cakey consistency. It's good, but I noticed like after I put this into the air fryer that the recipe didn't have a pinch of salt. And I feel like tasting it now, it really could have used that. This was a lot easier to make. You don't have to let this rest for too long. That's pretty good. I give this recipe like a 9 out of 10 for how easy it is, how straightforward it is, and like no surprises. It was just mix it all together, throw it in, wait for it to cook, and you pretty much get cookie dough. This one's good. The top has already kind of collapsed. I don't know if there's any saving that, but after checking online, it might have been me. I might have been the one who fucked up here because apparently you're supposed to like cool it for much longer than just let it cool. You can apparently chill these overnight if the inside is just not firm enough. In the video, it basically said let it cool, but I kind of wish the video had instead said like chill it in the refrigerator overnight or something like that. So I'm going to do that and hopefully it becomes something that's actually sliceable without it falling apart right on the spot. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, so this next one is a baked oats recipe, which means if I make it today, then I have breakfast for tomorrow. I've never tried like baked oats any other method before, but I'm learning that there are a lot of ways to eat oats. I usually do them overnight. I've recently tried them savory. Apparently this baked oats thing, it's supposed to be a bit homier, I guess a bit more, well, baked. The good news is I think we can just mix the entire thing inside the pan instead of having to do it in an external bowl and then pour it into the pan. I'm not used to them being this long. We got our mashed up bananas. I just need to make sure I don't tear the aluminum pan. I was trying to look up if you can do this with rolled oats because rolled oats is what I usually get, but I didn't want to risk putting in any unnecessary variations, so I just got quick oats to try it out with. Okay, so that's one, it's two, it's 1/3 cup brown sugar. And then we're grabbing baking powder for this one. That looks like 2/3. Kind of a lot of vanilla, not gonna lie. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yeah, we really do need to give this a good mix. I don't think I've ever seen baking powder and milk interact. It's like bubbling. And it says we're gonna put it in for 290 Fahrenheit for 12 to 15 minutes. I think I'm gonna go on the safe side and set it for 15 minutes, but it said to check it halfway anyway. All right. Oh wait, oh my God, I almost forgot the chocolate chips. I'll just try to sprinkle them around. You can always add more chocolate chips later. Oh God, please fit. That's what she said. I really hope when this comes out of here, it's not runny. We'll see later. Okay, it's kind of time for the halfway check. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna pause this. Whoa, that is crazy. It is, ooh, liquidy. All right, I'm sticking this straight back in. It is well on its way. This so far for me has maybe been the most straightforward recipe just because we were able to do it all in one pan. So if this works, I think it's a pretty good one. The oats are done. Here's the moment of truth. We can see the top is like pretty baked. It still jiggles though, but here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give it an extra 5 minutes and then I'm gonna let it cool, just to be on the safe side. All right, extra 5 minutes is up. Ooh, this looks way better. That is a nice top. Look at that. That is a nice color. That is something I can let rest confidently. I feel like it'll turn out as intended. This looks pretty solid. I'm excited to crack into it once it's rested and stuff. Good morning. It's day 2. I didn't think that this video would end up being filmed over 2 days. So what I ended up doing with the baked oats, like they finished baking yesterday, but I wanted to let them sit. I wanted to let them rest. I'll let it in the refrigerator, have it for breakfast tomorrow. So what I did, I just reheated it in the air fryer. So here's what it looks like right now. This is a banana bread baked oats, and honestly, it looks really good. So I have high hopes for this one. Here's what a forkful looks like. Oh, that's pretty good. Like, I taste the banana. It's not that sweet, but honestly, like given how I was able to just make this in one pan, bake it, and it ended up pretty nice. It was pretty easy to make. So far, I think this is like the most straightforward one that I've done. So the other thing that we had to check on this morning is this burnt Basque cheesecake, because I basically let it sit in the refrigerator overnight to chill, and hopefully that settled the actual inside, because the problem yesterday is that it kept spilling out. I'm going to take out the parchment. Okay, so far so good. This is where it spilled out last time. You can see the humongous crack. Okay, well, it's not spilling anymore. So now we can cut into it and hope for the best. We pray.
It's solid now. I'm not gonna lie, if this just ends up tasting like a giant block of cheese, which I guess cheesecake kind of does. Here's what that looks like fallen over. I'm gonna try it first. You know what? It kind of tastes like cheesecake. So I think the verdict on this cheesecake is that it tastes like cheesecake, but I wouldn't say it's particularly impressive cheesecake. I feel like it's something that you could make at home if you want to have an entire cheesecake in your refrigerator. Out of the 3 air fryer recipes I've tried so far, this is probably the one I like the least because it's kind of impractical. It takes a lot of time. And then I feel like it doesn't taste as good as I hoped it would. I would probably give this like a 6 out of 10. This time we're making brownies. And honestly, this shouldn't be that difficult. We're going to make the brownie batter in a bowl like this. The only extra step that this involves is melting the chocolate into the butter. So we got our hot water. Gonna throw our butter in there. And then we throw in like around a 1/4 cup of these meltable chocolate tablets. So these are dark chocolate. I didn't get the semi-sweet ones. I love dark chocolate. About 1/4 cup. I'm gonna throw that in there. And then I'm just gonna mix. You know what? I'm gonna check back in with you once it's all melted down. 15 minutes in, we have this. It is a smooth mixture of butter and dark chocolate. Next thing we have is brown sugar. So we are doing, okay, so that's a 1/2 cup. And then 2 tablespoons. I'm going to mix that in a bit. And then we're doing 1 egg. And then we do a teaspoon of vanilla. Put that in there. Okay, it's not fully combined yet, but we can move on. So it says to sift the following in. I don't think there's a sifter here, so I'm just going to dump it in and hope that I can get all the lumps out. 1/2 cup of flour. 2 tablespoons cocoa powder, and then we're doing 1/2 teaspoon of salt. There you go. Okay, this is definitely gonna take effort once more to combine. I'm going to start heating this just so I can like preheat it. And then I'm going to pour the batter into my tin here. Now this recipe makes for a 6x6 tin. I couldn't find a 6x6 tin, so I have like a 7x5, I think. Which is like similar, it's close. I'm gonna put it in here. I don't know why, but it's sitting a lot low. I realized that the recipe put parchment paper first. Mistakes were made. I'm so sorry. This is definitely a user flaw. This is not the fault of the TikTok or the recipe if this comes out wrong. Hopefully this is fine. Here we go. So now I'm going to chop up some of this chocolate and distribute it over here. Chopped up chocolate. And then I'll just add some of these semi-sweet chocolates as well. There you go. There's our brownie batter. Let's hope it works. And that goes straight in. Gonna do 360 for 30 minutes. Whoa. Now, this might be a bit of user error because I preheated the air fryer and technically the recipe didn't say to preheat the air fryer. I'm going to let it cool there for a while before I attempt to take it out. Here's how the brownies look. The top is like pretty burned. So I'm kind of hoping that aside from the top, everything else in it is okay. Ooh. Oh my goodness. Aside from the fact that the top is burnt, it looks kind of good. I hope that it's not tough inside, so I'm gonna chop it up. So the good news is the burnt top is kind of coming off. You can kind of eat it as is. You know what? These would have been some pretty solid brownies if I hadn't burnt them. So like it looks pretty good. But I think that the lesson here is that like check it halfway, and if it looks like it's almost done, then you don't need to complete the entire time. Like the brownie inside is great. I just grabbed some from below the crust. It's good. The recipe, up until the baking time, it was like doing a solid 7, I think. But then if this is the result of like 30 minutes in, I don't know, I gotta bring it all the way down to a 5 or a 4.
After having done all that, even though some of the TikTok recipes didn't turn out the way they should have, I definitely understand why everyone and their mother loves air fryers. I came to love that little thing after just 4 attempts at baked goods, and you know what? I agree, it can do anything. Maybe from now on, I'm just going to air fry all my meals because oh my god, I love that thing. Anyway, that's going to be all for this air fryer exploration video. Like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you all soon. Take care.